Have you ever noticed how some people feel like a warm summer day the one minute and a literal Arctic blast the next? You're texting, the chemistry is electric, and you're thinking, okay, this is it. We're finally on the same page. And then, silence for 3 days. Or maybe they tell you they've never felt this way about anyone, but then they tell you they aren't looking for anything serious right now. It's exhausting, isn't it? It's called mixed signals, and honestly, it's one of the most psychologically draining experiences you can go through. It keeps you awake at 2 a.m., analyzing the placement of a comma in a text message like you're a forensic scientist. But today, we're going to stop the guessing game. We're going to pull back the curtain on the psychology of why people send mixed signals, why our brains get so addicted to the confusion, and how you can tell the difference between someone who is just confused and someone who is playing a very specific game. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you won't be looking for a decoder ring anymore. You'll have the clarity you've been looking for. Let's start with the most common form of mixed signals, breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing is exactly what it sounds like. They don't give you a full meal, no commitment, no consistency, but they drop just enough crumbs of attention to keep you from wandering off the trail. A random "thinking of you" text when you haven't heard from them in a week, a heart emoji on your Instagram story. From a psychological standpoint, this isn't usually about love, it's about ego maintenance. For the person sending the signals, it's a way to keep you in their back pocket. They enjoy the safety of knowing you're still there, still interested, and still available. It's a low-effort way for them to get a hit of validation whenever they feel lonely or bored. But for you, on the receiving end, it feels like hope. You think, oh, they reached out, they must care. But if you look at the pattern, you'll see the crumbs never lead to a house. They just lead to more crumbs. We have to be honest with ourselves. If someone wanted to be there, they wouldn't be leaving a trail. They'd be standing at your door. Now, why is it so hard to just walk away? Why do mixed signals feel more addictive than a clear no? There's a psychological concept called intermittent reinforcement. It's the same thing that keeps people sitting at slot machines for 12 hours straight. If a slot machine never paid out, you'd walk away in 5 minutes. But because it pays out randomly, sometimes big, mostly not at all, your brain gets a massive spike of dopamine every time you finally get that win. In a relationship, when someone is cold for a week and then suddenly incredibly warm and affectionate for one night, your brain experiences a chemical explosion. That high is so intense that it makes you forget the 7 days of anxiety that came before it. You aren't in love with the person, you're addicted to the relief of the signal finally turning green. We tell ourselves we're fighting for the relationship, but biologically, we're just waiting for the next hit of dopamine. Understanding this is the first step to breaking the cycle. You have to realize that sometimes isn't enough to build a forever on. Not every mixed signal is malicious. Sometimes it's a result of an avoidant attachment style. Imagine a person who desperately wants connection but is terrified of intimacy. When things start getting too real or too close, their internal alarm system goes off. They feel like they're losing their independence or that they're about to get hurt. So what do? They pull back. They become busy. They get cold, not because they don't like you, but because they like you too much and it's scaring them. Then, once they feel like they've created enough distance to be safe again, they come back around. This creates a push-pull dynamic that can drive a secure person absolutely crazy. If you find yourself in this dance, you have to ask yourself, are you okay with a partner whose default response to intimacy is to run away? You can have all the empathy in the world for their fear, but you can't be the one to heal a wound they're not willing to look at themselves. I know it's a cliché, but clichés exist for a reason. In the world of psychology, we often say that ambiguity is a choice. If someone is into you, they want you to know it. Why? Because they don't want someone else to swoop in. They don't want to lose the opportunity. They want to secure the connection. When someone gives you mixed signals, they are telling you subtly that they are mixed about you, or they are mixed about their readiness for a real relationship. Either way, the result is the same. You are left in a state of limbo. And limbo is a terrible place to build a life. Real emotional maturity is about clarity. It's about being able to say, I like you and I want to see where this goes. Or, I like you, but I'm not in a place to give you what you need. Anything else is just noise. Mixed signals aren't a puzzle for you to solve. They're a message for you to read. And usually that message is, I'm not ready to give you what you deserve. Don't spend your precious energy trying to decode someone who isn't willing to speak clearly. You deserve someone who is all in, even on the days when things are complicated. If this hit a little close to home today, or if you finally decided to stop analyzing those 2 a.m. texts, hit the subscribe button below. By joining us, you'll be the first to know when we drop our deep dives into the psychology of why we do the things we do and how to protect your peace in the process. Thanks for watching, and remember, the most important signal you should ever listen to is the one coming from your own gut. See you in the next one.